Well guys, I got to see Superman, the new film by James Gunn, and it was my most anticipated film of 2025. Well, at least I got my crypto popcorn bucket and drink. That's something. Oh, James, what have you done?
What you're looking at is the most powerful being on planet Earth.
I will not accept that. Gotta get back to the fray.
Rated PG-13. Only in theaters July 11th.
So I saw James Gunn's Superman, and yes, I'm probably more deflated than a nerd's blow-up doll on a Saturday night after seeing this film. Now, I admit, my friend and I, we were late, so I think we probably missed at least the first 10 or 15 minutes of the film. That's because I was lined up trying to get my crypto bucket and drink. Guys, I'm going to get straight into this. I went into James Gunn's Superman wanting to really love this film, and unfortunately I feel very mixed on it. Now, the plot basically is Superman 3 years into his journey, so he's not really a Superman in a way. I mean, yeah, he's got the big body and he's got the suit, but there's a very almost angsty teen-like mentality about this Superman, and I'm going to get straight to it. Yes, this is not a Christopher Reeve Superman, and this film doesn't work as a Christopher Reeve Superman from 1978 or whenever the sequel came out, and those two films are two of my all-time favorite films. I love them because I think they are, apart from obviously dated visual effects, I think they're two just absolutely perfect films. And what works in a real Superman film that doesn't work here with James Gunn's Superman, and there's lots that does work as well, so I'm going to get to all the good points, but what works in those classic Christopher Reeve films is this, and this is what James Gunn, as a writer and as a director, doesn't quite understand. Yes, Superman is a superhero, but in the 1978 original, you've got Superman in a very realistic setting. Now, that realistic setting is enhanced by the fact that it's not filled with visual effects. So when you see buildings in those classics, they're real buildings. If you see areas tumbling and crumbling, yes, model miniatures were used. But I think it's because those films were so limited in visual effects, because that technology didn't exist, they had to make do with what they did, and they had to be so creative. And then you bring in Christopher Reeve's Superman, his incarnation of that character. It wasn't like he was this freaky alien with crazy ability and powers. Yes, he did have those powers, but he just seemed to fit into the world better.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Because it was a reality. It was like a downtown New York or something, and he fitted into that perfectly. Where you see a film now like Superman, and it's literally like watching a video game cut screen with parts of reality, like a real car or a real dog, put into it. But most of the time, you know you're watching visual effects. Now, if you've seen the trailers, and obviously you probably all have, that's basically what you get here. The visual effects here aren't brilliant, and Superman flying around, it's just 2025 CGI. That's pretty much what it is. And the story isn't much chop. It's Lex Luthor. He doesn't like Superman, and this time this Lex Luthor is evil. He's not so much like maniacal and mustache twirling, but he just hates Superman with a jealousy, and there's a real evil there. And I'm going to get into the positives. The performances were really, they're really good. The cast is fantastic. They're perfectly cast. So David Corenswet as Superman, yes, he's good, but he's doing what he can with the screenplay written by James Gunn. He's got a boyish charm to him. I do love the fact that he's believable, as though, you know, he's just come off this southern style farm like 3 years earlier, and now he's in, you know, this big metropolis. So that is believable, and it is endearing, and I do think that he's got a lot of room to grow. And so I think the casting of David Corenswet was great. His chemistry with Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane is really good as well. She's perfectly cast. However, when I was watching the film and every time she came on, I kept thinking of Monica from Friends, and my friend Bernie, who I saw it with, Bernie also said, oh, every time I saw her, I kept thinking of Monica from Friends, and I'm like, yeah, and Gail Weathers from Scream. So that was a little bit distracting, but I thought she was really good. The guy they cast as Jimmy Olsen, he was good too. And the actor playing Perry, we don't see him much. He's hardly in the film. And as for David Corenswet as Clark Kent, he's literally in the film once. And the funny thing here is, guys, with this film where there's so much action and it's action, you do want some more constructive narrative scenes, and then we get one which is in the trailer between Lois and Superman, and it just gets really boring. It's like the same thing over and over, and you've got this Superman as this whiner getting upset because people are posting crap about him on the internet. It's like, do we really want our Superman that's whinging and bitching because people are doing Facebook posts about him? But that's what you get here. Now, the elephant in the room, people are going on about Crypto. Well, look, I think Crypto actually saved this film. I love Crypto the dog. Every time he's on screen, he's fantastic. He adds humour.
Sir?
What is this? Crypto! What the hey, dude? I thought you dissolved Superman robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. And he realizes we are not flesh and blood and couldn't, in our heart of hearts, care less whether he lives or dies.
Stop, Crypto, leave it. Ow, ow, stop. Ow, stop it. Crypto, ow, stop it, stop. Sit, stay.
Now, the humour in this film is divisive. It's James Gunn. And look, I've got a lot of issues with James Gunn. I mean, he's going around lecturing the world, saying that we should all be nicer and nice. But when you listen to James Gunn talk, I don't see a nice person there. I just look into that guy a little bit, and I don't see a truly nice person. You can say nice things, and you can say you want nice things. And I think if I'm incorrect, the heart and soul of that man, of that writer-director, would be in this film. And that's the biggest issue with this new Superman. It's soulless. Yes, David Corenswet adds some personality and some nice things, and he's pushing for hope and all that and peace, but it's surface level. Overall, the film is soulless, and I think that's because its writer-director is kind of a soulless, vacuous guy who's preachy, but he's not really, living it. So yeah, that's my issue. I don't think he's. I think he's looked really great with the humor in his previous films, and I actually liked his version of Suicide Squad. I thought it was pretty cool. And I've only seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. I own them on Blu-ray 3D. And I thought the first one was great. And look, he's really good with ensemble cast. He's pretty good. But that brings me also to I can't even remember what they're called here, the Galaxy Gang or whatever they are. And Nathan Fillion's in there as Guy something with the bowl cut. And they're alright, but they seem a little bit, I don't know what kind of world he's setting up, but something just doesn't seem right with the setup. But the guy playing Mr. Fantastic and the character of Mr. Fantastic, well, he's fantastic. He's awesome. He and Crypto really do steal the show. The music's okay. The Superman theme is put in there, the classic John Williams theme, and it's put in there kind of sparingly and used okay. Other than that, the score doesn't stand out super much. But overall, a big issue with this film is Superman gets the crap beaten out of him from pillar to post the entire film, and then there's a large chunk of the film where he's captive, and you see that famously in the trailers. He's in this glass enclosement thing, and he's captive in there, and that seems to go for a really large chunk of the film. So we never honestly really see him as Superman, and I guess maybe that's room to grow, like I said before, for future films. But he's captured, he's beaten up, and look, the film's meh. That's the best way to describe it. Unfortunately, I wanted to go into this, I wanted to love it. The film is just, it's a bit meh. Now look, I need to go and see it again. I was busting after drinking this thing, and I had a coffee before I went in, so I missed a bunch when I went to the bathroom, and I missed the opening of the film. So I'm going to go back and see it in a thing called 4DX, where you get water and crap sprayed in your face. Hey, look, as long as I don't get Crypto pissing in my face with 4D visual effects, I'm down for that. I'm going to go see it again. And then look, if I change my mind, guys, and I like it more after seeing it in 4DX, which is visually it's in 3D, then I'll be a man and I'll come back and I'll explain that. But for now, I do have some issues with the film, and look guys, I've got to give it, my ratings have all changed, and I'm trying to give ratings with only starting with the letter G. So I'm not going to say it's garbage. I'm going to give an M rating, and that's going to be meh. I was let down by it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate your time. And if you like this, it's up to you. You can like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, look deeper into film.